What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Topic of Discussion. I am your host, Miles Berry. I hope you guys had a very, very beautiful, amazing Christmas, and I hope you guys had an amazing day welcoming in the new year. Okay, we're in 2025 now, and this is the first day of the new year. I hope we've already made goals and things we want to accomplish this year, how we can better ourselves, how we can become better for ourselves and better for the people around us, our mental capacity, what we're taking in, the energy that we're putting out, the boundaries that we're setting. I hope we just have a whole new perspective on life, right? If we weren't already doing that. So we're just taking a change. We're changing our direction that we need to. And for the people that believe, we're relying on God and we're taking God's path in the direction that He wants us. And we're going to trust Him to do that. We're going to trust whatever path that He has for us. That's the road that we're going to take. And everything that we need is going to be down that path. Maybe not what we want, but what we need. Okay. So it's going to better our lives, better our future, and better everything around us. Okay. So without further ado, let's get into this episode. So, the topic for today is step by step, right? Again, the topic for today is step by step. I chose this topic because step by step, we're going to move on. Step by step, we're going to get through the things that we're going through in life. Step by step, we're going to follow God's path, right? Because we're taking step by step to go down that path. So, step by step, we're going to get through life. You guys get what I'm saying? And it's not going to be an easy route, easy path, easy anything. It's step by step. Just like when we complete a problem or complete a math problem or complete anything in school, it's a step by step process to get the answer, right? So just take that same thing and put it into life. It's a step by step process to get things in life. It's a step by step process to follow the path that God's laid for you so you can receive the fruits of your labor, right? It's a step by step process. It's a step by step process to move on, right? Some of us deal with loss, some of us deal with hardships in our life, and it's a step by step to get through it because each day is difficult. So we're all right, one day, all right, we made it through the day, let's get through tomorrow. All right, this was tough, let's make it through the next day. So it's a step by step process to get to where we're going. So today I chose this topic because I want us to understand during this step by step process, we have to make sure that we're being better, we're doing better for ourselves, that we're following God's path, that we're making the right decisions, right? As we move forward, we're bettering ourselves. We're not step by step, but going back. It's a step by step forward, right? So we have to make sure that we are conscious, right? So we're not trying to numb our pain. We're not trying to go in other directions to not feel what we're going through because it's a lot, right? Or it's a lot going on with family members, or it's a lot going on just in our personal life. So we're trying to numb away our feelings because we know if we numb away our feelings, it's going to cause us to go with the flow. And if we go with the flow might not be in the direction that we want to go in. But since we're numbing our feelings, the flow feels right. So therefore, we're straying away from where we should be going step by step. Does that make sense to you guys? So just besides numbing the pain as well, it's our thought process. So I said this before, if you change how you view yourself, it will change how you view the world. Just because you are in this world doesn't mean you have to be of this world. And for people that don't understand what I mean when I say that, or just kind of need more clarification, is if you change how you view yourself, your daily routine, your daily habits, the things that you allow, um, your relationship with God, your relationship with your family, the way that you treat people, um, just the way that you go about your life. If you change yourself and you change how you view yourself, you're gonna change how you view the world. Because if you change how you look at yourself and you start looking at yourself in a positive light and saying, "Okay, I understand that." I'm just gonna give you an example. I'm gonna go back to that, but this is just an example. So there've been times where I've been in the store or I just been just anywhere out and about, and somebody has came up to me and they just had a rude attitude right off the jump, right? Right off the jump. Or they might not look at me when they talking, or I might be talking to them, they walking away, and they might work at the store or work at wherever we are, and they're just being rude, right? So therefore, there are two ways that I can respond, right? You can respond with kindness, or you can match their energy, right? So you got like a split second to decide what you're gonna do. Am I gonna match their energy because that's rude, and you really just made me mad based off what you just did, or am I gonna respond with kindness because I'm trying to change the way that I go about things? So I'm changing how I view myself because I know before I would have done this, but now because I know better, I'm gonna do better. So let me respond with kindness because at the end of the day, I don't know what everybody's going through in life, right? And just because they respond in a certain way, they may not mean nothing by it, but they're just going through so much and it just came off like that. And some people are just rude, but at the same time, we don't have to go down to their level in our response. So therefore, when they did that, I still responded with kindness. I still gave them respect. And the crazy thing about it, maybe like 10 minutes later, they came back to me and said, you know what, I apologize for the way that I was acting. I've been dealing with this in my life, and it's just been a lot going on, and I apologize because you didn't deserve my response like that. It's just been a lot going on in my life, and I'm trying to deal with this, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do this, and they just start opening up to me, right? But if I were to match their energy and responded the same way they did, this could have gone a whole different direction, right? So that just goes back to my what I was saying, as if you change the way that you view yourself, right? Because if we change the way that we view ourselves in a negative light, let's change that into a positive light. Let's stop looking at all our flaws or looking at all the things that we could be doing. Let's look at all the things that we are doing. Like, let's understand what we can do better, but let's look at the things that we have done better, because we're always going to want more. And that's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, sometimes we skip over looking at the things that we accomplished during the process of us getting better. So if you change how you view yourself, it will change how you view the world. And you will understand that it's a step by step process, and nobody's jumping from here to here. We want to get better, and we're going to get better through the years and through the days, right? But at the same time, it's not going to be a leap jump. So therefore, it's a step by step process. And if you change how you view yourself and see that for yourself, you're going to understand when you look at the world, it's a step by step process for everybody. Everybody's not going to have the same mindset as you. Everybody's not going to think the same. They're not going to have the same perspective on life as you, but at the same time, you're going to understand more. So therefore, now when you approach these people, you're going to approach them with kindness, regardless of how they respond to you. And maybe that lady or maybe that person didn't come back to me and apologize. That would have been okay. Maybe not before, but now it's okay. Because at the end of the day, honestly, I wasn't having the best day either. But I still wasn't going to go down to their level because I'm changing. And when you're changing, you take a conscious effort to change. You make a conscious effort to change. And you don't rely on bad habits for new outcomes. You don't rely on bad habits to change your ways now, because that's just going to revert you back to your bad habits. And that's going to have you going down the same wrong path that you already went down, but you want better for yourself, but you want better relying on bad habits. So how are you ever going to change to be a better person? Relying on bad habits, right? Relying on bad habits. So then the second part of it was, just because you are in this world doesn't mean you have to be of this world. Meaning that just because you are surrounded by everybody in this world, we all see the same things. We all go through life. We all go through different trials and tribulations. Just because you are in this world doesn't mean you have to be of this world, meaning that you don't have to act like the world. You don't have to act like the things that are surrounded by you just because they're surrounded by you. You still remain who you are, remain true to yourself, remain true to the things that you want to do with your life. So therefore, that you are focused on the path that God has given you, and you're taking a step by step process to get there. Because just because you are in this world, God gave you your path in this world, but you don't have to be of this world and take the same path that the world's taking. God gave you your path to take down your life, right? He gave you your path for your life. It's your decision if you're going to take that path or you're going to take the world's path, right? You're in this world, but you can take God's path or you can take the world's path. So just because you are in this world doesn't mean you have to be of this world and think like the world. Have the same thought process like the world. Move like the world. Think that when everything goes wrong, you have to respond like the world. Just because you are in this world doesn't mean you have to be of this world. So if you change your habits, you're going to change your life. If you change your life, you're going to change your future. If you change your future, you're going to change your relationship with God. That whole process, you will change your relationship with God because he already giving you all this. But as you go through the step by step process, you know what's going to happen. Your trust is going to become stronger. Your faith is going to become stronger. So as you go through this step by step process, as your faith gets stronger, you're going to start relying on God more. Not relying on Him saying, okay, this happened, God, I need you. But relying on Him to give you the path that you need to take down your life. But remember, it's your decision to take down that path, but you're going to rely on Him to give you the path and give you what you need. So therefore, you're not going to worry. You're going to start worrying less about your life and start worrying less about the things that happen in your life, because you know, regardless, if I got God and I trust God, He's going to lay the path that I need in my life to take the right path in my life, to be successful, to be healed from what I was going through, to get through what I was going through, right? I don't know what's going on right now, but I'm going to trust God. I'm going to trust God. So regardless, I'm going to get through this. I know y'all remember that. I'm going to get through this. I'm going to get through this. I'm going to get through this, right? Hard times, amazing times, struggling times, dealing with lost times, looking for a job time. I'm going to get through this. Just because you are in this world doesn't mean you have to be of this world. So once you start to understand that and apply it to your life and change how you view yourself so you can change how you view the world, it's going to provide you with a different perspective, a different outlook, the way you move, the way you respond. You're going to change now because you're no longer of this world, right? Right? You're in this world, but you're no longer of this world. So you move differently. And that's what I want us to understand as we move throughout our life, right? We have to change our habits. We have to change the things that we do on a daily basis to become better, to become stronger, to strengthen our relationship with God, to strengthen our relationship with friends, to strengthen our relationships with our companion, right? Right? So we want to become better because a better version of ourselves is going to make the people around us better too, right? Because the people around you, if they're friends, you trust each other, right? So you look at each other's actions, right? So therefore, I want to provide you and I want to give you the best version of myself, right? And although I might be going through different things in my life, although whatever I'm dealing with, whatever you're dealing with in your life, I want us together, even a companion, if you're married, in a relationship, a close friend, whatever the case is, I want us to give the best versions of each other, right? We deserve that. So therefore, if you're giving me the best version of you and I'm giving you the best version of me, we have nothing less than being great. We have nothing less than moving forward in the right direction. And if we should have a relationship with God, and we have nothing less than receiving everything that we need out of life. Again, I always say God is not going to give us what we want. He's going to give us what we need. And sometimes what we need is going to become what we want, but we just never saw it. We just never saw it like that, right? Because I don't know about you, but there have been times where I received things in my life and God has given it to me. I'm like, man, I never wanted that. But as I received it from still taking that step by step process down the path that He has laid for me, I I started to enjoy what He's given me. It's not something that I wanted off rip, but it was something that I needed. And once I was able to start applying it to my life, it changed my perspective, right? And sometimes what He gives us is not always going to be something good, but it's going to be something that can change the direction that you're going in, change your perspective, change something that you're doing, right? Or it can be something that you needed, right? You needed that job. You were working so hard and you finally got something. You finally got that offer for that job and you didn't know how it was going to work out. And you kept praying. You kept praying, God, I just need you. I'm trusting you. I'm trusting you. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. I'm trusting you, God. I'm praying. And you finally get that offer. You finally get a position somewhere around that same type of job that you were looking for now that you can finally have financial stability, right? He gives us what we need. He's never late. He's always on time. He's always on time, right? So that's why you should never lose your faith in God. Never. but we're always going to be struggling. And when I say struggling, we're always going to be dealing with things in life because we're in this world. So as we are in this world, it's very easy to be attracted to negativity, to sin, right? So therefore, it's harder to, like, I struggle with that. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Let's be honest here, right? We're all adults, so I struggle with sinning, right? So as we go through this process, the problem is not sinning, but it's the problem is repeating the same sins and not changing when you know you should not be doing it, but you keep doing it, right? You have ways that you can sin. And it's like, I did that. All right, I got to change. But when you're sinning over and over and you're doing the same exact sins, even if you say, God, I'm sorry, I'm repenting, are you really making a conscious effort to change? Are you just sinning just to say, I repented after you say, God, I'm sorry? So as we're sinning, we should be making a conscious effort to change our habits. So it should be no reason that you do a sin today. You wake back up tomorrow and do it the same as that sin again, the same as that sin again. Or you go around these people and do the same sin, or you go around this person and do the same sin. We have to change. So therefore, sometimes I feel like as a whole, we forget God knows our heart. So when you're saying, oh God, I'm sorry about sinning, I won't do it again, I won't do it again, like, who are you lying to? Like, are you really telling God, I won't do it again, when you know in the back of your mind you finna do that same sin again? Like, God is really questioning you, like, why are you lying to me? I know your heart. Like, did you forget I breathe life into you? I know your heart, so why are you lying to me? So maybe change your prayer and maybe say, God, can you change the direction that I'm going on? Or like, but you have to make the conscious effort. And I know people that sin and people that make the same sin over and over again, you're gonna understand that it's very difficult to change, and it's gonna actually take a whole lot of effort to change the direction that you're going in. But it's possible. It's gonna be difficult. You're gonna feel a lot of temptation every time you try to pull away, but at the same time, it's very possible. But you have to make that decision for yourself. And a lot of times, sometimes when we go through, times when we're sinning, people just give up because it's like, I keep trying, but I can't change. I can't beat that mental battle. I can't beat that mental challenge that I'm going through. Every time I pull away, he keeps pulling me back. But at the same time, one, you cannot give up, right? Two, keep praying to God to get through it. All right. Again, I told you, He knows your heart. He knows if you're just saying, okay, well, I'm gonna sin again. I'm gonna just like keep praying to God. I repent. I repent. I repent. But He also knows if you're doing that sin over and over again, but at the same time you're trying to pull away, and He's gonna keep helping you. But you gotta keep going with yourself, and you gotta strengthen that relationship with God. But at the same time, you have to pull away from that temptation that's trying to pull you in, because it's going to keep pulling you harder, but you're going to have to pull harder to pull away. But once you pull away, you're going to be it's not going to be easy to go back, because now you understand life without it. You're going to understand life without that sin. You're going to be disciplined now. You're going to be able to understand, or to recognize when this sin or this temptation is coming, and you already been able to pull away now, right? It's not impossible. Now you see it's not impossible to not do the sin. So therefore you're gonna take a more conscious effort not to do that, right? And again, I'm gonna go ahead and end this, but remember, it's a step by step process, right? And we're taking a step by step forward in this process, and not a step by step back. And the process is everything that we're going to be doing in life. Getting through things, right? Building relationships, building families, rekindling relationships, getting jobs, going places, doing things. We're always going to be taking some type of process in our life, but the process that we need to take is forward in the right direction. And I need you to understand who you are and change how you view yourself and see yourself in the limelight. So if you change how you view yourself, it's going to change how you view this world. And remember, just because you are in this world doesn't mean you have to be of this world. So change how you view yourself. It's going to change how you view the world. All right. This has been Topic of Discussion. Miles Berry. We out.